Anytime now. Oh, now I'm going to have a computer problem. There it goes. All right, now we're finally live.
All right.
Took a few times of hitting the button there. It's probably me being a little antsy there, but good evening, everybody out there. Today is not Monday, but we decided to have a special session of Meet the Brands of Brunswick staff. And tonight I have invited Columbia 300 staffer Dan Schriner to join us on the program and talk to us a little bit about himself, the Columbia 300 brands, and just get a little background on him to put a name and a face with some of the regional staff here in the area. So, Dan, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us. How are we doing tonight?
Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
So, Dan, why don't you tell the folks out in Facebook land here a little bit of background, kind of where are you from, how long you've been with the Columbia 300 brand?
I'm from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. I think it's my 7th year on staff with Columbia.
Okay, and always under the Columbia 300 umbrella, kind of wearing the logo there. And obviously now you have the opportunity to throw 7 brands. So kind of opened up a new world to a lot of us in the bowling world. And how are you making out with that so far?
I do like all 7. I never really threw the DV8 at all. So I got the Verge Pearl. I really like that. That was a good ball.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I drilled one of those as well, and we've done a few for a few of the guys on my staff. We had Dominic Motilla was on I think like a week and a half ago, and out of the box he bowled 825 with that ball. So Verge Pearl, super clean. Definitely something we use a lot in league conditions. But I mean, from your part, from being from Nazareth, PA, I know a little bit about you. I get to see it kind of on the tournament scene. For those of you that don't know, Nazareth is kind of around down that Allentown, Easton area. So your home center, Dan, most of your bowling is done out of what center?
Town and Country in Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem, PA, and that is home to where your pro shop sponsor is, which is the home of Bowler X. So I know you've been a long time, I believe a pretty long time staffer for Bowler X, and definitely tied in with a company that does a ton for bowling, not only at the local levels as an e-tailer, but you'll see their name all over the PWBA and the PBA tours at this point, and sponsoring bowling in general. So tied with a very good company there.
Yeah, I've been going to them for about 10 years now. So once the league opened up, I've been going ever since.
Good. And it sounds like, nice long relationship. Been with the Columbia brands, that mainstay in the industry. Been with the shop representing them. So, very loyal guy, obviously. And that goes a long way in this industry because it's such a tiny industry that we're in. So, we're all like that tight knit, family. And it's good to hear we have that kind of support. But out of those 7 brands, and a lot of the folks out there really want to know, for you, Dan, what is in your normal bag? What's in your bag for league, or what you're carrying along when you're going into tournaments? What are you liking right now, and what's in the bag?
I usually get definitely the hammers, the Web Tour, the Web Tour Hybrid. The Columbia Outlook is good. Obviously the Verge Pearl, like I said, and then I got my urethane there.
Yeah, your urethane in there. And so obviously a Columbia Outlook, cleaner piece, definitely a lot of down lane motion. We just released another, I should say an announcement yesterday. So we are going to see a return to the dynamic swing. So that's another one to kind of look forward to that's on the horizon there. But, Dan and I had talked, kind of before we came on air here, and kind of similar to what we see here, locally or regionally, where, we're in an area where there's a lot of friction. So I think we tend to migrate more towards the symmetrical balls right now. And there's a lot of really good ones over those 7 brands. So it's kind of hard to get steered the the wrong direction. But outside of bowling at Town and Country, I know you mentioned you also bowl in what's referred to as a club league or a clubmen's league, which is pretty unique to some folks out there, but that might not be familiar with all the small club atmosphere that they have down in the Allentown region there. So, how many centers are in that league, Dan?
I believe five clubs.
And,
Some are only 2 lanes, some are 4 lanes, 6 lanes. Most of them are down in like the basement of the building. It's
I can relate to that.
Fun league.
Yeah, it's fun, especially those little 2-lane centers where you're kicking a wall into one lane and you're probably kicking the ball return on the other one.
Right.
Not intentionally, but that's with your trail leg. It's pretty cool to bowl in those environments. I mean, how many of those? Any of them still wood?
I don't think so.
Okay,
There might
so
be some on the
some
side
upgrades to them there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's cool. It's cool to see some of the nostalgia and stuff, but it's good that the smaller centers, are kind of sticking around there because I know, Allentown and the area you were in used to be a pretty, hotbed for bowling, and over the years, just like some other areas, we've seen a lot of lane beds leaving the Allentown area. The most recent one I believe was Parkway. I think has closed now again. So, years ago, remember we used to have Boulevard and some other, really cool places to bowl down in that area. And, it's good to see that the clubs and stuff are able to, kind of survive through that and that they're supported there. So it's a cool little atmosphere. I love doing those things. We have a couple of like Eagles clubs and stuff around here that are similar to that, but, unlike your area, ours are definitely wood and they're not in good shape. So,
Right.
good luck. I don't know if that urethane ball would come into play, but maybe your spare ball would, because they just plain old hook. Some of them we don't even have oiling machines; we just do them by hand there. So definitely that old school feel. Yeah. But outside of bowling, Dan, I mean, what else for you? Like, what any other big hobbies? What are you into? What Dan, outside of the bowling world?
I'm a sports fan of football and baseball, Tennessee and St. Louis Cardinals baseball team. I work a lot. So
yeah,
that's pretty.
And what do you do for a living outside of bowling?
Forklift.
What do you do for a living outside of drive forklift?
Yeah, Nazareth pallet.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I mean, interesting sports teams there. So originally from the area or out of state, or how did that transpire into those two sports team picks? I'm kind of a mutt when it comes to sports teams as well, but just interested to see where that comes from.
No, I grew up here. Just when I was a little kid, Ozzie Smith doing the backflips coming out of the dugout. They got me hooked.
Yeah, you're aging yourself a little bit there, my friend, just like I do. Yeah. But we start talking about Ozzie and that people know we're at least in our 40s, and if not, if not getting there. But it's interesting because I kind of joke around. Football. I've season tickets to the Eagles, and I'm not an Eagles fan. It just turns out I really like to tailgate, right. But I'm actually, it's worse because I'm a Dolphins fan because I love Marino growing up, and Pit Boy, and coming up through the ranks, and so it's kind of like how do you become a Dolphins fan? It's been a miserable life of trying to watch football. So it is what it is. So I figure I might as well just go to the Eagles and have a few beers and not care who wins. Yep. So that's where it is. But Dan, obviously you like to do the tournament scene. I see you around quite a bit. Any big ones on the horizon you have coming up, maybe where we'll see you, or kind of on your bowling calendar?
In December, the Hammer Holiday Doubles. Hopefully that is a go. I did do that last year.
And who did you bowl it with?
Jason French.
Jason French, yes. You know what? I do remember you guys going out there, and you guys made a pretty good run out there last year, right? I'm pretty sure
we fell short. 15th, we finished.
15th, but I mean that's still a pretty incredible finish with obviously going out there with a field of some stacked players. I mean some people cringe their nose and say it's a house pattern. I'm not going out there. Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody that's there is good. So you better bring your striking shoes if you're going out there. It's definitely one that's kind of been on, I would say, on my bucket list. I'd like to get out to. But nationals too, I think is going to be, might be a challenging one as well. Just with the restrictions and everything that's still going on,
Right.
where are they going to be able to host? And, we already see some cancellations and stuff for sporting events into early next year already. So, hopefully for USBC and for bowling in general, we're able to get some type of normalcy back and hopefully see the USBC Open Championships come back because, it's always a good trip. And, is you one of those guys that's kind of shooting for a milestone for how many years you've been going to nationals, or how many years you working on, Dan?
No, this will be probably like my 5th or 6th. I don't go much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you always been a bowler your whole life, Dan, or is it something you got into a little later in life, or, how'd you get into the sport?
My mom got me into it. I was, I think, 14 or 15. Then I started working at the bowling alley down the old Heritage Lanes in Easton. That probably closed up like 10
yes.
years ago.
Yes, I know. I remember the place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was so I worked there, and then just once I started bowling, I fell in love with it.
Yeah, it's such a great sport. And it's one of those things, Dan and I kind of joked around, about, age and stuff there, but, it's one of those sports where, you can get into the twilight of your career and still have plenty of things to bowl.
Yeah.
Most of us growing up played other sports like, baseball or, things along those lines. And yeah, there's some twilight leagues around but it's not the quality of the game you're probably used to playing when you're younger. Whereas bowling is, as we age, it's there. It's something we can continue to do, and it's for any age demographic. And I don't have to run to first base, so that's a good thing for me. So
Exactly.
it doesn't include running, but yeah. So out of I know we talked a little bit about what's in the bag, what you're liking out of the brands, but what was your initial instinct when you heard about the the acquisition from the Brands of Brunswick, buying up the Ebonite International brands?
I was excited. It's probably been about 10 years since I threw a Brunswick prior to merging with the old EBI. But I was excited, and like I said, never did the EV8 or
the Radical balls, or
Radical. Yeah, I just always always stayed with Columbia, and back in the day some Storm, but it was always just I always just used the Columbia and the hammers.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of us, it kind of I know it took a lot of us, caught us off guard. I remember when it went through and everybody was texting me right away going, yo, I just heard that Brunswick bought up EBI, and I thought they were like pulling my chain. Right. And because at that point I'd only been with Hammer for probably about a year and a half, and I had actually came from the Brands of Brunswick over during right after I stopped working out on tour. And I was caught off guard initially, but my first instinct in my head is, wow, how are they going to manage 7 brands of bowling balls? Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't be happier with where I'm sitting right now, and probably yourself included here, to just we have so much at our fingertips now when it comes to bowling ball shapes and options. It's unbelievable. And the transition and how good these bowling balls continue to be as they start building up these lines is amazing. I mean, everything is just kind of falling into place, and I don't ever really feel like I don't have that, feel like I don't have that ball in my bag anymore, or looking over and I see a storm ball guy on the lane and go, wow, I wish I had that shape in this tournament, because I have it now. All the brands are distinctly different enough that I feel like it covers the gambit. So if I'm not scoring, I pretty much look at myself going, you know what? I probably didn't execute correctly, or I didn't play the lanes correctly, because there's just so much good stuff that's out there. So, but believe it or not, Dan, we get this stuff always goes really, really fast, because we get talking here, and next thing you know, it's like 15 or 20 minutes go by, and you're like, holy crap. When you start talking about bowling, it kind of flows. And I think we were joking before we came on here. Some of the guys may be watching the telecast right now, and here you and I are talking about bowling while there's finally bowling on TV.
Right.
But it worked out, and the special. We'll probably do a few more additional Wednesday ones because everybody's kind of now getting back into leagues, and schedules are busy and stuff. Even for myself, I bowl on Monday night, so I'm pretty tight on time, and so Dan, we wanted to get Dan on here and a couple of the other girls and guys. So you may see us popping in here, talking a little bit about bowling and stuff. But doesn't look like we had any big questions that came across the screen, Dan. But so just kind of to recap a little bit, having you on there. So if anybody is wanting to know anything about the brands of Brunswick or Columbia 300 specifically, you can definitely look for Dan in the Allentown area. Specifically does a lot of his bowling at Town and Country. So you can funnel those questions through Dan or his pro shop operator, which he represents is Lee San at Bowler X. And or you can reach out to me directly if you have questions as well. But we wanted to give you another name and a face for these amazing players that are out there in the region and the ones that are promoting our brands. So Dan, anything that I didn't ask you that I probably should have, or that you wanted to share with everybody?
No, I think you got everything. You summed it up good.
Yeah, we just try to have a little bit of fun with it, and I definitely look forward to competing with you more on the lanes here and getting to see you out at tournaments. I know we briefly saw each other at Berks the other week, and unfortunately, I had to follow your pairs, which I knew it wasn't going to be pretty after I made the turn there at Berks.
Right.
Bolt 290 on the pair you told me was hooking a little more, and I went to the other side of the building and they hooked 2 arrows more. I'm like, what happened? But definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully I run into you soon here, Dan. And if anybody has any questions, reach out to either one of us. Remember to support bowling and support proprietors, support your local pro shops. And if you have any questions, reach out to Dan or myself. All right, gang, that's going to be it for the evening. Everybody go enjoy the PBA League. And Dan, thank you for joining me tonight. And we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.